Welcome back. Let's get into this month's review. It's going to be a hot month, lots of games coming out, etc. Too many to play, little time to talk, so let's get into the review of Wet, a third-person shooting game available on the PS3 and Xbox 360. So we'll talk a little bit about the menu here. Get the typical menu, as usual, with the options, extra challenges for replay value. No multiplayer in this game. So keep in mind that this game has a film grain effect also that you can turn off if you don't like it. Another thing I like to mention that the demo is out on both systems that you can try before renting, purchasing, or whatever you want to do with the game. Anyways, just a heads up, like before, this is all about preference on this type of game. You either like it or you don't. Basically, if you don't like football, you don't watch it. So, let's get into the game a bit. I like Stranglehold a lot, so this game reminds me of it at times. Played the game on hard, died many times in a lot of ways. I'm really amazed. You know, people are really amazed watching me by my ability not to rage quit on the games. But anyways, on Wet, you play as Ruby, who I call a get-backer. She retrieves items, things for a price, etc. Apparently, later on, she's on a quest for vengeance against those who really screwed her over hard. So, you can imagine. So we'll talk a little about the control scheme of the game. It's very easy to use and get into, very difficult to master. The game revolves around a slow-mo system and doing acrobats, running along walls, sliding down ladders, jump diving, aiming around, shooting your enemies, auto-aim. One pistol will auto-aim, the other you can point around and shoot at times with an infinity amount of bullets from your dual pistols. Except your other guns, shotguns and Uzis, you'll have to find ammo for. My advice is to use a slow-mo system. The ability to run all over the place and be patient, especially if you're on hard mode. Controls are good, but some areas can frustrate a player, especially if you'll probably die a lot from missing jump gaps, or certain distance you have to jump over a gap. You have to make sure you're at that last moment before you jump, or the camera might screw you over while you're running across something, and then you pretty much start over from the specific checkpoint. But it's pretty amusing sometimes to see the way it happens, because there's plenty of way to die, and the ragdoll effects. It's pretty amusing, I guess. Also, there's the TBS system, which I call the time button sequences in the game, telling you to input specific actions, etc. before you die. So you make sure you pay attention to the screen at certain times. And on to the next part. To talk about the graphics of the game. I mean, it's pretty decent. It's not the best in the world, but hey, it's still fun to look at for what it's worth. Lots of death animations, etc. when you kill your enemies or when you get killed. The game treats you with game cinematics, in-game cinematics actually, and strange black and white ads that look really familiar for some reason that I don't know where it's from. It's really old school, but the music is very fitting to the game also. I liked it a lot. The music is really good. I mean, the whole game itself gives me this type of Kill Bill vibe, or Tarantino's work for some reason, I don't know. Voice acting is decent, somewhat of a lot of cursing and swearing. Not the best, but not unbearable. Take it from me, I'm Asian, and the stereotypes on the Asian in the game nowadays are ridiculous. In fact, redonkulous is a good word to describe some of the things that happen in this game, which is our next part of the review. So here we go, we're going to talk about the gameplay mechanic. So I was talking about redonkulous because you play the game normally shooting lots of enemies, etc., and then it gets to redonkulous stunts where, unbelievable stunts like sliding down ladders right here, and just keep shooting enemies. You keep shooting and shooting and shooting, and nothing happens. You don't land head first, etc., or whatever, but she does die if she jumps down from high places, so that's a little feedback right there on the unrealistic parts, but you'll find yourself jumping from car to cars, shooting enemies, getting tossed around from an airplane without a parachute on. You'll find yourself twisting and turning, shooting enemies. They'll twist and turn and shoot at you. It's crazy. At certain times in the game, you'll be climbing places around. It'll give you that Tomb Raider vibe. And then other times, you'll find yourself in a sort of enclosed space with spawn areas. And what happens is that these enemies keep spawning and spawning until you turn off their door points or enter points by slashing certain things to close them off. But other than that, there are other goodies in the game to look for, hidden monkeys, etc. to unlock stuff. Your weapon of choice is your dual pistol or your sword at first, but then you'll get the shotgun and Uzis later on. I think there was one more weapon. I didn't get it yet. I'm still in the middle of the game, but other than that, you have to reload the shotguns and the Uzis because they require ammo. Like I said before, the sword, at the end of the chapter, you can choose to upgrade what you want, your sword, your pistols, your health, whatever. There's stuff ranging from that, and then there's like new moves Ruby can pull off, jumping slashes, slide slashes, You know, you earn these points by multiplying and shooting your enemies. The more enemies you shoot in a roll, the more points you multiply, and grabbing these bonus multipliers and doing stunts while shooting your enemies. While killing your enemies, you know, it's always crucial to do this because sometimes you won't get Brandy, which heals your health all the way up. You'll find at certain points in the game in tough spots, etc. But most of the time you'll be regenerating health by multiplying that point on the upper right, as you can see right there, ×1, etc. So that's all pretty much I have to say about this game from their point. I'm gonna stop talking right here for a second because I really like the song, and I was just shooting guys real quick. Anyways, I'm going to put more gameplay clips in, and thanks for watching, and remember, check out my website at www.ihavesorethumbs.com. You know, I'll put on more game clips, walkthroughs, run-throughs, whatever. You know, if you have questions, stop by and ask. If you have comments, etc., stop by and ask. I mean, you have a bunch of gamers who talk about games in there, do, you know, competition, etc., maybe give away some prizes for multiplayer games, you name it. But a lot of hot games coming in, and I'm probably going to pick up random various games to review, you know, some from the past, etc., that I've never played, and then new games like, let's see, Demon Soul on October 6th, I got Brutal Legends on October 13, and import of Final Fantasy 13 on December 17. Other than that, have a good one, and game on.